Nah, man, what's up with it, man? It's your boy Big Cal, TNP representative. You under dig, man? We're gonna sit here. We got this good conversation today, this morning, man. Let's pile in here, have a good time. Keep it simple. Talk a little bit about this deployment of the National Guard and federal officers to Washington D.C. So
Trump administration officials claim that the streets of D.C. are less safe than the streets of Baghdad. In an effort to fix that and crack down on crime here in the district, they launched this operation overnight that includes 16 different federal agencies, could last up to a week long and potentially go further than that. And this all comes after President Trump signed an executive order in March here at the White House to crack down on crime in our nation's capital. But crime actually has hit a 30-year low in D.C. That's according to the Metropolitan Police Department. But it really is in full focus for the president and his administration to crack down on crime here, because we saw a former DOJ employee who was assaulted in a carjacking, and then 2 Israeli embassy staffers killed on the streets of D.C.
We're going to beautify the city. We're going to make it beautiful. And what a shame. The rate of crime, the rate of muggings, killings, and everything else, we're not going to let it. And that includes bringing in the National Guard, maybe very quickly.
turn the Bluetooth off for a quick sec.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major Garrett in Washington. Let me welcome you to the Takeout. I've lived in Washington, D.C. since 1991. I remember that first year in this city very well. For my career, it was nonstop exhilaration. As a resident, however, there was a different kind of rush. It came from a gnawing fear of violence. 504 people were murdered in Washington, D.C. that year.
Let's talk about the violence perpetrated in these cities like D.C., these Democrat-ran cities, man. D.C., Philadelphia, Charlotte. We can sit here and name them all day. Chicago. We got to get serious with this thing, man. I definitely appreciate Trump for having the gall and the courage to step up and use his executive powers to push back against some of the crime in some of these crime-infested, riddled, Democrat-led cities, man. So it's funny that, the nation's capital is put on the spotlight for having deplorable criminal standards and conduct within this city, within this District of Columbia. So it's a beautiful thing to me, man. I ain't gonna say in sugarcoat. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to me. Just give me a second. Let me get parked up. Beautiful thing, man. Safety, attacking criminality, attacking criminals, and criminal threats will never be something that I deter or detract from. It can be nothing but a positive thing to me. And to the citizens who are unfortunately through their circumstances are there, and that's the city that they're in, and they're under constant siege by a lot of these idiots, these criminals, these degenerates, to be honest with you, man. So, yeah, I'm just going to go through a couple of videos, give my opinion, man. I've been up in the area. I know a lot of people from D.C. I've been to Baltimore a few times. Been up in the area a few times, man. Maryland, Baltimore. I've never actually been to D.C. that I remember. If I did, I was a child. But Chocolate City, man, it has a reputation, to say the least. I've met plenty of people that from there. I've been to Baltimore, like I said, and I met people who gave me a good rundown of how the city is and just the culture there. So although it's the nation's capital, Although it is the nation's capital, it is synonymous with crime and criminality, and that's just a fact. You know, when they talk about the hoods, the black community, you know, there's a joke going around. Martin Luther King Boulevard in D.C. is one of the most criminal-riddled places in America, and how a lot of MLK boulevards across America are just crime-riddled, man. So, me personally, I'm not mad at Trump at all, man. I actually applaud him. Let me put this thing up here. Give me 1 second, man. Try to get this thing to stay. Boom. Ugh, come on. Show me some type of cooperation this morning, so I can charge this thing up and talk this shit. But yes, sir, man. I take no issue with what Trump's doing in DC, man. Send them troops, man. Send them federal officers and federal agents, man. Get some type of control over the city, man. Like I said, the alleged carjacking by the federal agent. This circumstance like this, man, it's out of control, man. Out of control, man. We gotta take, as citizens, man. And this is just a microcosm, because this is one city, you know, one city, one district, you know, whatever, you know, District of Columbia, man. So, like, what's my thing? This has to. I want this thing to span globally to all these Democrat-ran cities, man. He has to push the button. He has to George Bush the button and do something that will be conducive for the masses, man. Because personally, we're getting black fatigue. We're getting tired of criminality. We're getting tired of degeneracy. When we're feeling like this is not the America that we grew up in, you know. So, just to say the least.
1991, it was the highest rate ever. And for context, the murder rate in the nation's capital hovered for years around 400, and it didn't fall below 300 per year until 1998. The number of murders in D.C. in 2024, according to statistics cited by the Trump White House this week, was 186. To review, my first year in D.C. in 1991, 504 murders.
Damn.
Last year, 186.
Hey, you know that was the crack epidemic making niggas go damn insane.
In President Trump's words, that crime in D.C. right now is worse than it's ever been. When I moved to D.C. in 1991, there were straight up no-go zones, places where cabs, remember, this was before Uber and Lyft, simply would not travel, not at any price. The city existed in a kind of numb terror. It functioned. People shopped, went to work, played in parks, but uneasily. Fast forward to last year. When this show was still America Decides, I was absent for 5 weeks. I served for 5 weeks on a D.C. criminal grand jury, reviewed evidence in cases for possible prosecution. Victims sat feet away from me in that grand jury room, trembling in fear from what they had been through: robberies, muggings, carjackings, shootings, and worse. I stared into the haunted eyes of crime victims.
President Trump declaring a public safety emergency, saying he's activated 800 National Guard members in the nation's capital and has now placed the D.C. Police Department under federal control, saying that Attorney General Pam Bondi will, quote, take command. This takeover is happening as the president says that crime in the city is out of control, despite officials saying that certain crimes in the city have hit a 30-year low. Watch this.
I'm announcing a historic action to...
Just because it's hit a 30-year low does not mean the problem is eradicated, man. This is a deeper seated, deeper rooted issue that's going on across America, man. You know, we can either choose to look the other way or try to, you know, I guess, what's the word? Look at the numbers and how they've decreased and want to have a more of a knee-jerk reaction to that, or want to, you know, basically sweep the issues under the rug of what's going on in DC, because 100-some murders, 150 murders is still a tremendous amount. The fact that they were having 500 plus murders, 400 plus murders in the 90s is ridiculous. You know, we can attribute that to the crack epidemic, of course, but that makes it no difference. This is the best thing I feel like that's happening to this country, man. The influx of federal control, you know, especially with law enforcement, man. The criminality in this country is out of control, man. You got to flood these streets with some of these officers. You got to take back your this country, man. Period. You have to take back this country from criminality. Has to, man. Nobody who wants to live in a country where you're, you know, living in a constant state of not even fear, but just chaos. That's the best way to say it. I mean, it isn't really fear, it's chaos. Who wants to live in a chaotic, criminal riddled society? You know what I'm saying? So I applaud Trump, and I really don't get all these people, all these liberal weirdos, leftists want to come out here and detract from the fact that there's a huge problem in America when it comes to crime. Point blank, period. We're not going to sit here and have a race issue. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit and point fingers as far as race goes. I'm not going to sit here and, quibble over ignorant, talking points. But if you are a logical person, you know that a majority of crime is coming from a certain community in a certain segment of society, man. So, yeah, man, we just got to get this thing quelled, in my opinion, man. It has to be something that's done immediately. And, man, more people got to talk about the actual issues that's plaguing America, man. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the economy, of course, that contributes in some ways, form, or fashion, but the culture is shocking. It's shocking. It's debauchery filled. It's degenerate. It's it's at a horrible state right now.
Bedlam and squalor and worse. If necessary, we're going to move service members directly to joining the guardsmen, and that'll take place very rapidly.
CNN's Brian Todd is closely following this story for us. So, Brian, take us through President Trump's order and what else he's threatening, because he says he might activate the military.
That's right, Boris. He says he's kind of reserving the option to activate additional military units in Washington, D.C. if need be. He then later said he didn't think he would need them, but he's going to keep that option open. He is also considering at least expanding the National Guard deployment to other cities. He named Chicago and New York City. But let's see how this plays out in Washington, D.C. first. We do have...
Let's do it. Like I said, I feel like this is a microcosm of what Trump has in store for the whole nation. That's just me. It's time to clean up this nation. I think it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I just said that. I haven't even been really paying attention to a lot of the things, but I felt like this was a beginning, a start of something that was going to be big. Roll out the federal mandates and the federal law enforcement, and send them to these cities. Because let me tell you one thing about a criminal. A criminal is a fearful coward who acts because he feels as if he has a crutch from the local law enforcement, or the local law enforcement is at this point turning a blind eye to a lot of the things in order to, in my opinion, focus on other crimes, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they want to focus more on, the murders and things like that, as opposed to the property crime, the assaults and things like that nature, robberies. So I feel like, a lot of things like the robberies, carjackings, a lot of things are going unsolved, in my opinion. The murders, I feel like it's the things that they want to take precedent over. Murders, probably drug trafficking things, sex trafficking, things like that. You know what I'm saying? But man, like, it has ruined the fabric of society in America when you turn a blind eye to a lot of these things in order, you're letting the small fish go to try to get the big fish, but the small fish is starting to become it's overrunning the lake. You know what I'm saying? so to speak. Like, once you're trying to find the big fish, you think that's the biggest issue, but the small fish, it becomes kind of like an infestation of sorts. So you can't overlook all these little small property crimes, larcenies, robberies, carjackings, because that is going to accumulate into a status of chaos, which we are in a lot of these countries. A lot of these states. A lot of these states are in a state of chaos. A lot of these cities and states are, in a horrible status right now, man. Just keeping it 100.
Some source reporting from three sources familiar with the matter saying that both the D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Chief Pamela Smith did not know of President Trump's announcement prior to when he made the announcement. They were caught kind of unaware of this prior to when he made the announcement this morning. As you see the graphic there, the president plans to mobilize some 800 National Guard members on the city streets here in D.C. to put the D.C. police under federal control. That is unprecedented, by the way. A president of the United States has never taken control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department before. Also, FBI agents are going to be controlled.
I just want to know, how can this be a bad thing? How can less crime be a bad thing? You go online and you see people constantly arguing, constantly fighting, constantly bitching and moaning and complaining about the facts that these federal agents are ransacking these cities, in drones. And in my opinion, it's only a good thing. It's only a good thing, man. I'm telling you. Like who does not, you know, like who wants to live in bedlam? Who wants to live in anarchy and chaos? Who wants to live when there's gun violence rampant on every street corner? You know, drug trafficking, all this type of low life debauchery going on all in your city. Who wants to live like this? You know what I'm saying? Like we should be applauding Trump for actually caring about the common day citizen. You know what I'm saying? About the plight of the common citizen. Like this is a thing that plagues all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like violence, larceny, robberies, carjackings. This affects every person that's even in these liberal cities across America. Like it does. You know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that are populated, in my opinion, by highly impoverished, melanated communities, black communities. Man, like these are the ones where they're just fed up, out of control. You know, just to be honest.
With the police department here, that is also a very rare occurrence, according to our sources. It's very rare for FBI agents to patrol with police in a local police in any given city. Already some pushback here in the district from this, but let's first hear from President Trump. We'll get to the pushback in a moment, but here's what President Trump had to say about what he hopes the police could do in the city.
See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them, because it's the only language they understand.
Exactly.
They want to get at it. And they're standing there and people are spitting and they'll...
I say this shit all the time, man. A criminal is fearful of that powerful fist, man. You know what I'm saying? When they got these fingers all willy-nilly, they can take that out. You know what I'm saying? A gang of motherfuckers can take that out in a heartbeat. You know, police, especially the police that are disenchanted, that they really don't want to do their jobs, really just going through the motions for a paycheck, you know what I'm saying, type mindset. When you have these federal agents that's coming in there, these national guards coming in there, these people that are, their sole duty is to gain control of these properties in these areas and these you know what I'm saying, these territories, man, they're coming in, like he said, with an iron fist. They're not playing that shit. They're not looking the other way when they see drug transactions and bullshit. They're coming right at you. They are at you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of climate we need in America right now. We don't need a soft on crime mentality across the states of America. That's bullshit. That is what we're going through right now. And nobody, I repeat, nobody is in these, especially in these liberal ass cities where there's a high concentration of African Americans that are impoverished. Nobody feels safe there. Not even the black people, man. Black people are having black fatigue. Nobody feels safe, and that's not fair. It's not fair, man. And when it's funny how when it trickles down to the federal agent, the 19-year-old guy, I forgot his name, but I think they call him Big Balls or something like that, was supposed to have gotten his carjacking. It's funny how when they are attacked, or when the power that be are impacted by the effects of the impoverished fallen state, which is across America, now they want to have a reaction to where they want to quell the violence, quell the criminality, you know, and just quell the you know, the uproar. And whatever gets the job done. Me personally, I'm not mad, you know, that it had to come at the expense of someone so close to the federal government being assaulted and having a car, attempted to carjackings and you know, as I said, 2 murders that had occurred for some federal workers. It's sad that it has to be that way for, you know, action to actually occur, but you know, whatever gets the ball rolling, honestly, man, because like I said, a lot of cities, DC especially, man, I've heard so many stories about DC. The reputation in DC is not good. You know what I'm saying? I've had teammates that came from that area, play football, man, and just like I said, just some of the stories I've heard, you know what I'm saying? Just some of the videos and the things I've seen, the statistics I've heard and read of, like I said, it just doesn't look good. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see how less crime is an issue. That's just me. I just can't see how having less crime, I don't see how that's an issue from anyone. So, you know, I don't understand that personally. Hit that like button for me, man. Subscribe to TNP too, man. Show some love. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, hit that notification bell, man. Show some love to TNP, man. We get on here, we talk that real fire shit. You did.
And they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want.
And who is mad at that?
Very tough crackdown on crime here in DC. And again, we mentioned
Gotta bust some of these motherfuckers in their head.
The DC Attorney General, Brian Schwab, has issued this statement, quote, The administration's actions are unprecedented, unnecessary, and unlawful. There is no crime emergency in the District of Columbia. Violent crime in D.C. reached historic 30-year lows last year and is down another 26% so far this year. We are considering all of our options and will do what's necessary to protect the rights and safety of district residents. Attorney General Schwab is correct there when he says that crime is down in D.C. According to the D.C. Metropolitan Police, violent crime is down 26%, assaults with a dangerous weapon down 20%, robberies down 29%, and crime overall is at historic lows.
We know what got the ball rolling. The ball got rolling due to the fact that a federal officer was carjacked, allegedly. He was robbed and carjacked. This is why they sent in the National Guard, federal officers over there to take control of D.C. again. So, and to take control of the D.C. Police Department and our law enforcement. Like I said, anybody, I just can't see how anybody would come out negatively and detract for the fact of policing or law enforcement or gaining control or the decrease of criminality. I can't, honestly, I can't even understand why even any person, a lawmaker or whoever this guy is, I can't remember who he was, the district attorney or whatever, I can't even understand why anyone would even open their mouth to argue against fighting crime. Like, that makes no sense to me. Like, who the hell wants crime? Crime is obviously inevitable, it's going to be there, but who the hell wouldn't want help in alleviating the crime issues of DC? Like, it's still not a good place to live. It's still, you know, a lot of murders and violent crimes taking place there, just like any other liberal ass city. I mean, what can it hurt to have help? You know what I'm saying? Like, or to have an assistance, or to, like I said, just push back with a couple, you know, National Guard officers, get some assistance.
In the city, Boris. We also got some pushback from council member Charles Allen.
It's always liberal folks that's going to push back too.
Doing this under the guise of public safety is, quote, wrong. It's an extreme, outrageous, and dangerous move for the city. That is the first member of the D.C. City Council to push back in earnest to this move. Boris?
Brian Todd, thank you so much for the reporting.
Got to be a liberal black.
Thank you. Former FBI Deputy Director and CNN Senior Law Enforcement Analyst Andrew McCabe joins us now. We also have former U.S. Attorney and former Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litton.
It's got to be a liberal black person, man. I swear, a liberal black person, the only one that sits here, that will open their mouths publicly on all these websites and platforms and will fight for crime. Like, they're literally defending crime because they feel like their community is going to be the ones that's overwhelmingly affected. And if you're committing crime, you will be. If you're out here committing acts of violence, crime, robbery, lewdness, drunkenness, whatever, you're gonna be caught up in this smoke screen, in this dragnet, and rightfully so. I don't give a shit. Lock them up. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be I'm with Trump. We need to be harsher on crime. We need to have harsher penalties on criminals. We do not need to have a what they call it, hug a criminal, hug a thug type mindset out here in this world. That is bullshit. That does not help us at all. So we got to get this thing together.
And thank you, gentlemen, for breaking down this very important story. Andrew, I want to start with you. From your perspective, is the purpose of this action purely to have just a massive show of force on the streets of D.C., or in practice, is there anything that will be done differently with the police department under federal control?
Well, I mean, it's hard to say exactly what the purpose is, right? So we know what the ostensible purpose is, the facts that, or the, I don't want to even call them facts, the information that the president cited during his press conference, which of course included comparing DC to places like Baghdad and Bogota, Colombia, where we have no accurate reporting about what their crime statistics are. The fact is that the crime situation in DC is at all-time lows. They were at a 30-year low last year, and it's down an additional 26% this year. So there is no crime emergency per se in the city. So when you understand that, to try to divine what the purpose is of this deployment of National Guard assets, what this reallocation of things like FBI agent resources to patrol the
nearly 1,500 National Guard troops deployed to D.C.
Deployed to D.C. as part of the federal takeover. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley with a rundown of the operation.
And I saw where they are cleaning up some of the cities from some of the homelessness, man. Also a good thing to me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I do not care, man. Like, in all honesty, man, You gotta have accountability for your life, man. There's a lot of places in outlets where you can go if you are choosing to be a homeless person. You're choosing to not want to work and get up here and do things and do what you got to do in order to provide a shelter for yourself. I mean, it's an eyesore in a lot of cases for folks to just be out here camped out, tented out on the lawns. It just, like I said, it's a public eyesore. Nobody wants to see a lot of these things, man. People out here half naked, doing drugs, all type of just debauchery. Who wants to see that? I mean, we got to clean up this nation. We got to have better housing and affordable housing for a lot of folks in this nation, honestly, too. Got to have that discussion as well, you know what I'm saying, before we just try to, just throw these people in the trash type mindset, man. But that's a whole nother debate. But as it stands, man, I'm all the way for that as well. You know what I'm saying? Because homelessness, in my opinion, comes with criminality. It comes with a whole subculture of just, it's a subclass of just negativity, in my opinion.
The changes you'll see in the district.
This is what we are seeing in DC during the federal takeover. You can see multiple tanks behind me as well as National Guard members, and this is at Union Station. President Donald Trump has now requested more National Guard members, and the governors of South Carolina and West Virginia are now sending in hundreds of them. And that's on top of the more than 100
Hit that like button for your boy. Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Deployed here. Now, what we learned from the White House is that at this point, they are not armed, but that they could be. I've been tracking everything that has been happening during this takeover. It was a week ago that the president announced he'd hold a press conference to stop violent crime in Washington, D.C. At the press conference Monday, the president announced it was, quote, Liberation Day for D.C. He put the D.C. Police Department under
And what exactly is wrong with that? And I just don't understand what the hell exactly is wrong with that. With the fact that they want to be harsher on crime. I don't understand the issue with folks that sit here and defend criminality. They sit here and defend abortions. They sit here and defend everything, hard drug use, shit, all type of just crazy shit that's gonna make this nation a fucked up place. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if people choose to use drugs, that's something different. But other things, we got to get on par with that for sure. We definitely got to get on par with a lot of things, man. Like on the same page. Like criminality and criminal acts is the issue in our country. So it's like, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, man. We got to put some type of preventative measure out here to quell some of this violence and chaos is going on across these nations in these certain cities. It's only in these certain cities too, man. You got to acknowledge the fact that it's only in these certain liberal ran cities where it's just complete chaos. So, like me personally, man, I'm glad he ramped it up. Since like he sent some more, 1,500 National Guard troops deployed, man. This is a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
Federal control.
Going to take our capital back. We're taking it back.
The mayor and other city officials responded for one of the first times following months of warnings from the president.
We are going to do our level best to maintain, as the chief talked about.
I'm going to say it, man, because I always talk my shit and I always keep it 100. Of course, a black bitch mayor, bro. I don't give a fuck who watches this. I don't give a damn. Of course, a liberal black bitch mayor, bro. Like, it never fails in a lot of these cases, man. I'm telling you, these cities, they condone the violence, man. That's why I feel, man. These black police chiefs, black mayors, black whatever, man, they condone the violence. They look the other way because they know their ass is living in some gated ass community with wealthy white folks and wealthy folks. They're not dealing with that shit. Trump is speaking for the lower class of folks, man. That's my biggest thing that I'm just trying to get through to folks. Trump is speaking for the lower class of people. He's speaking for the people who don't have a voice. You understand? Like, it's not just for, he could have just looked the other way. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of these situations, like the guy lived, the agent lived, fortunately they got carjacked. He could have just been like, man, hey, and chalked it up. This man is literally fighting for the lower class of people so they can have a safer place and a safer environment to raise your family and actually have a right to, happiness and the pursuit of happiness, man. Nobody wants to be dealing with gunshots, switches, dumbass niggas, a whole bunch of baby mama ass shit, fights, goddamn brawls and goddamn chaos. Nobody wants to deal with that shit. Loitering, thuggery, gang violence, niggas in here smashing and grabbing, robberies. Nobody wants to deal with that bullshit, carjacking. Like, bro, and the main people that's being attacked is black people. Let's be real. The main people that are having these violent crimes come to them is not the random ass federal agent that gets carjacked randomly. It's black folks that's going through this shit. Let's be honest. So what I just don't get some of these, like I said, these figureheads like this black mayor bitch. Like I'm like what I want to see what the fuck this bitch got to say. You know what I'm saying? I bet you she speaks out against what's going on in DC and what Trump is doing. I bet I would be willing to bet $1. You dig? So let's see.
To maintain the trust that DC residents have in us.
Tuesday, I was there as the DC National Guard arrived and was deployed in DC.
He got the call yesterday around 2 p.m. Then he received some orders stating that he has to be deployed for the next 13 days.
7 News continued to track the impact on the ground from the takeover. DC crime was already going down before the takeover. Crime stats show no significant change.
I think a lot of us are questioning, and I definitely myself am questioning, why now with this federal takeover?
We learned from the White House that the operation.
We know why. We know why. He had is a knee-jerk reaction due to the fact that the federal agent was accosted, robbed, and beat down and carjacked. That's why he had the knee-jerk reaction to bring these to throw a monkey wrench in y'all daily whatever your daily routine up there in DC by bringing all these National Guards and troops in. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Fix your communities. Fix your communities, man. Teach these black young men that's out here committing the majority of these fucking crimes. Get them in check. Have a group meeting, a community meeting. Have some type of mindset where you're gonna control and police your own people in your own communities. People are getting tired of this shit. Like I said, I'm hoping that Trump makes this a widespread thing where he sends troops, National Guards to all these Democrat-ass liberal ran cities where it's chaotic, where it's a sunken state, where it's a fallen state, where it's a whole bunch of matriarchy, female, single mama ran ass households and communities and raised by a bunch of bitch-ass black men, bitch-ass niggas as I call them. So I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? And of course, as a black man, like I said, it's always the black people if you look at it. And I'm gonna be honest, like I said, I don't give a shit. I'm not getting paid to fucking lie to y'all motherfuckers and have a Democrat fucking I'm not no Democrat puppet. Nobody got no the hand on my ass telling me what to do. I'm gonna tell it speak 100. So my thing is this: there's always black folks that's out here speaking for criminality. If you see this, they're always the ones they act like they're so inconvenienced by shit. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a positive thing. They're trying to keep fucking crime low. And they stopping us for loitering and smoking, and they're arresting folks for this. Go do something productive with your fucking time. Like stop complaining about the fact that somebody's trying to clean up your streets because y'all not doing it. So that's my biggest thing. Motherfuckers always trying to say, oh, it's inconveniencing me. Is these troops? They're slowing up traffic. They're whatever the fuck. Their presence makes me feel uncomfortable. Man, oh well. Crime makes me feel uncomfortable. Criminality makes me feel uncomfortable. A subclass of people that are degenerates and lowlifes and don't give a fuck, that have no accountability for their actions and what the fuck they do, that makes me fucking uncomfortable. So I don't want to hear shit about being uncomfortable or not wanting these troops in your city. Do something about your communities then.
Started before Monday's announcement, adding that since last week,
hit that like
there
button
have been
for your boy,
240
man.
arrests,
hit that like button.
Most undocumented immigrants. Thursday, Attorney General Pam Bondi handed over control of the DC Police Department to
hit
the
that like
head
button,
of the
TNP,
DEA.
hit that like button.
We were surprised. Without notice, we got the order.
Attorney General Brian Schwab sued the Trump administration.
Very gratified that the judge today
Fuck you. Talking about you surprised they got the order. Are you surprised that there's so many black on black murders and violence in your city? Surprise me with that. Y'all, nationally gun violence has went down. So that's first and foremost. Nationally, so you trying to throw these stats out there like it's not an issue in y'all city, and y'all don't have a historical past of major violence and crime and gang activity. I mean, like, what are you talking about here? Like, it's a problem there. It's still a problem there. Just because y'all skew these numbers or these numbers you want to throw out there like it's just such an improvement over all these years and stuff like that, man, it's a problem. It's a problem across America. Stop out here misguiding and misleading folks and stuff like that, man. I don't want to hear. She's over here, I was surprised with the order. I'm not. You're not doing anything, Miss Mayor lady. What are you doing to quell the crime in these black communities, in these communities of DC? Exactly, man. And what are these other black ass mayors across these liberal ass Democrat ran cities? What are they doing to try to quell some of the crime and violence of black on black crime and violence amongst each other? See, me, I love black people, so I'm going to tell the truth. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be intellectually honest, because it's too much dishonesty going on around here from public figures and people that's supposed to protect and have the citizens' the best interests at heart. People want to sweep things under the rug, but that only exacerbates the problem. That only enables the problem. That only makes the problem even worse and makes these criminals more emboldened when they feel like it's a hug a thug, lack on crime type mentality in all these cities. So that's just facts.
Recognized that is flagrantly illegal.
Keeping MPD Chief Pamela Smith in control as DC police.
I'm telling you what I say, man. All these liberal ran cities have nothing but black ran officials and authoritative figures, and they don't do nothing. They close their mouths and they go back to their gated communities, and they don't even think about all these black children, these impoverished black children, and just these children that come from poverty that are inflicted with gun violence and hatred and negativity day to day. Like, so I don't feel sorry that they're inconvenienced. I don't feel sorry that the troops come there and make them look like they have a bad city or embarrassing the officials in these cities. Fuck them. Fuck how you feel. I feel for these babies and these generation of people who are trying to do right, who are trying to live a law-abiding life and trying to live a productive life. And they have to hear switches going off in their city. They got to hear about gang violence. They got to hear about they got to see and live and maneuver through all this chaos and muck. Lock these motherfuckers up. Lock up these motherfuckers right now, man. Lock them up. Go harder on crime. It's time. It's time for that collective fist to slam down and oppress these criminals, man. It's time to lock them up, disenfranchise them, lock their asses up.
Step up its cooperation with federal immigration officials during the enforcement takeover. The White House says there are 22 teams operating across D.C. right now. This will be the first full weekend under the federal takeover. The White House says there are still specialized teams developing for targeted enforcement. For now, reporting from Union Station, Felicia Ashley, 7 News.
Felicia,
y'all want to show some love, man? Throw some on that Cash App, $ Toxic Masculinity POD. That's $ Toxic Masculinity POD. Or you can do $ Will or Way, WILLORWAY, man. Show some love to the content creator, man. You know what I'm saying? Show some love to Big Cav, TNP, man. But you can show some more love by subscribing to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Show some love, follow this content, man. I'm just keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? When so many people will not. So that's just what I got to do, man. I got to be that person. I got to be that light for my folks, man. You know what I'm saying? I got to be that truth teller that nobody wants to hear, but it's duly needed. So that's what I'm going to be. You know what I'm saying? You understand that? So I'm not afraid. Like I said, I'm not afraid to speak truth to power. Like I said, I'm a conscious black man. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm a critical thinking black man out here, man. So I don't see race. I get tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get tired of people who judge everything off race. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of the main reasons why they feel like they would not want law enforcement in here because they feel like black people will be unfairly incarcerated or unfairly policed by these National Guards. But in some of these cases, in some of these cities, Chicago, like you said, another city that they might go to, it's needed. It's needed because they're some of the main ones committing all these crimes and acts of violence. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, man. When you talk about guerrilla warfare, this thuggetry, this gang violence, this gang activity, this subculture of violence is flooded by melanated, impoverished black people. So let's be intellectually honest, man. That's all I'm saying. Let's stop being intellectually dishonest and let's be intellectually honest about what's going on in these cities, because that's the only way you improve. You don't improve by trying to cry wolf, cry white supremacy. You don't improve by sitting here trying to claim victimhood and cry white supremacy. You don't clean up your own cities. You don't clean up your own communities by crying wolf and whining about white supremacy and over policing your own communities. You fix a problem by acknowledging you have one. So let's start there. These boule ass black officials, police chiefs, mayors, and all this stuff across the country, they do not have your best interests at heart. They would rather lie and be intellectually dishonest, continue to waste, and have black lives wasted on the streets. And they don't give a shit about anyone. All they care about is their image, the numbers, the ratio, the statistics, and try to paint their image of their city so where they can be reelected, they can have still get their raises, still get their kickbacks, and still continue to perpetuate this whatever's been going on of this climate of violence that's going on in the cities. So they want to sweep it under the rug and act like it's not an issue. So that's just me. I'm not gonna be a part of it. I'm gonna be a part of the solution. Unlike them, I don't have a dog in the race. They do. These police chiefs, these black women police chiefs, black women mayors, black men police chiefs, black men mayors, all these elected officials in these liberal ass black ass ran towns, they do have a dog in the race. Trust, they want to get reelected. They want to make more money. They want to get more donations. They want to continue to have a job and have this job. Period. They don't care about the citizens. They really don't. So that's just facts. It ain't no cap. It's real shit. They don't care about the citizens. These black motherfuckers, they don't only care about is getting $1 and lacing their pockets. That's it. Like people like me, like a small podcast, small content creator, I'm gonna tell the truth. I don't fear you. I don't fear telling the truth about my own kind. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit. I'm sure other races do the same thing, or they should. If you really care about your community, what you say you do, you're gonna be intellectually honest. So that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I get down.
Thank you. 7 News just learned 200 National Guard members from
Subscribe
South
to TNP,
Carolina
man. Show some love
and
on that Cash App if you
military
can.
police from the Ohio National Guard will also be deployed to D.C.
Show some love on that Cash App
Ohio
if you
Governor
can.
Mike DeWine saying these Ohio National Guard members will carry out presence patrols and serve as added security. That makes 3 additional states sending resources to D.C. for President Trump's order. And tonight,
Show some love on that Cash App if you can. That's $toxic masculinity POD, man. You see a good old picture of me, of my content. It's $toxic masculinity pod. Or you can do $will or way, man. Just show some love if you feel so inclined. But like I said, the biggest love will be subscribing to the channel, man. Right there, if you are here watching right now, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to some of this content, man. I just love to keep y'all on the edge of y'all seats, keep y'all informed as far as, you know what I'm saying, some of my anecdotal things that I've seen just being a black man in the society and just keeping it 100. Well, a lot of folks do not. They'd rather circle the wagon on negativity, just to save face. But us trying to save face and act like it's not a problem is equals to more and more black death. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you honestly care about black children and black women and children and men and young children not being killed in the streets, you will be honest and stop trying to lie and act like there's not a problem. That's just me. That's how I get down. You sitting here lying, being intellectually dishonest about what's really going on in society, in black society, it's not helpful. It's actually a detriment to us, and it's actually causing more death. So that's why I don't want to see these numbers being even in the 100s and murders and all this stuff, one high 100s too. I don't really want to see that shit in one little ass city. Like, we can do our part to decrease what's going on in these cities. That's just my opinion. So, like I said, somebody, man, hey, about to have to do my job in a little bit, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got to keep it 100. You understand? Like, I got to keep it 100 bun, man. What's going on, man? Because a lot of folks, like I said, they just will not do that. You know what I'm saying? Under no circumstance will they be honest about what's going on in these streets. So, like I said, man, hit that like button, subscribe to TNP, man. That's more important to me. You know, any donation you can give is subscribing and getting this content out here and get this content out in the algorithm with some ears that really want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, let all ears that want to hear be present and be able to hear, man. Because like me, I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I'm not, and that's what this my channel is all about. So that's what my channel is all about, dog. My channel is all about keeping it too real, 200. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what I do. You know, I ain't got time for all the lies and the bullshit, man.
From the White House on the operation so far, they say, as Felicia just mentioned, there have been 240 total arrests since August 7th. They also say 38 firearms have been seized, and just last night, 52 arrests were made. White House officials say 28 of those 52 arrests were immigration related.
Send them back to their country.
The federal takeover and the addition of more.
Send their ass back to their country, man. Good job. That's how you do. That's how you sweep up, and you get 2 birds with 1 stone right there, man. You get the guns off the street and you get the illegals off the street, man. Let's go, Trump. Let's go, Trump. MAGA, baby. MAGA strong, baby. It's that orange, man. Shout out to Trump. We MAGA strong, baby.
But she also has railed against it, calling the president's effort an authoritarian push. So along with the federal takeover, the Trump administration is also turning its attention to clearing homeless encampments. We've seen tents near K Street and Washington Circle cleared in Northwest. Now, we went back out to that area last night and found that many of the tents were gone. Just the day before, 7 News learned an unhoused woman's tent was tagged with a notice to clear out, but she was told she had until Monday. DC officials say they are working to meet with people in need before they are cleared out in order to offer them resources. Now, during a question and answer session, the mayor was asked if clearing out those encampments will be a burden on the DC system and where those who are unhoused can go. Take a listen.
Listen, we are very worried about this issue. I know from many conversations.
Bitch gives a fuck more about the goddamn homeless than they do about the motherfucking the kids and shit that's out here plagued by violence in their communities, man. You understand? Bitch, all these, man, these black liberals, boule dickhead motherfuckers, man, they be out the main one out here weaved up, fucking ghetto ass motherfuckers, man. They the main ones out here fighting for criminality, bro. I see through it. I see through it, man. Sit here crying about fucking homeless motherfuckers being displaced and shit like that. Worry about fucking citizens out here that's trying to, that's out here impoverished, going to work every day, putting in 40, 50 hours a fucking week, that's out here goddamn struggling, and they got to deal with gang banging, drug dealing motherfuckers in their goddamn own communities. Worry about them. Why are you so worried about homeless motherfuckers? A small segment of society of homelessness. Why are you so what this is shit that pisses me off as a person, because I see through the shit. I see through the liberal fucking chaos that's going on in this city. I see through it. You can't hide the wool over my eyes. I see what the fuck they be doing. Like, it's just, it's really laughable and it's really disgusting at the same time. Makes me want to fucking vomit. They sit here and cry about the homeless, but you won't see them crying about the little babies killed. You won't see them. You won't see this mayor ever post anything on her online talking about black on black violence. You will never see this black ass mayor, these black ass police chiefs, none of these motherfuckers ever sit here on here and talk on use their platforms, talk about real violence. They won't do it. So let's talk about that. They will not do it. That's just facts. Give me a second real fast. Let me go ahead and tune this thing up real fast. Give me 1 second.
With President Trump, that this is like his issue. Seeing homeless encampments, I don't know, it just triggers something in him that has him believing that our very beautiful city is dirty, which it is not. And so I worry about this.
Boy, my blood's boiling. My blood is boiling. When will she speak out against black violence? When will this dog-head, bangly ass bitch speak out against black on black violence and poverty and shit like that? When will she open her mouth to talk about that? See, because that's a conflict in narrative that's going on in this country, which is anti-Trump, anti-conservatism, anti-law enforcement, anti-order. Let's keep it honest, man. She will sit here online and publicly talk about Trump, talk about having these National Guard troops, federal troops in her city, and she will sit here and she'll cape for homeless encampments. But you will never see whoever this lady is, mayor of DC, you will never see her publicly talk about crime in her city, the issues of crime. You'll never see her talk about the issues of black on black violence in her city. You never see talk about carjackings, sex trafficking, anything that's a crime in cleaning up her city. She wants to paint this image because she's the mayor. She wants to paint an image as if it's perfect, as if there's, oh, it's the lowest crime in 30 years. Oh, the city's not dirty. All my life I've heard how dirty fucking DC is. I've never been there. I gotta go. I gotta go, man. I've been in a lot of places. Been to Baltimore. I've been all over the United States. I'm in Colorado right now. I'm from North Carolina, so I've been all over the place. Been in Florida, New York. I've been all over the fucking place. Certain places I just don't want to go. I don't want to go to Chicago. Really don't want to go to DC or Baltimore. I play football. That's why I'm with Baltimore. I don't really even want to go to Chocolate City, DC. Why the fuck would I want to go there? I've heard too many bad news. I've heard the crime rate, the fucking diseases, HIV, all type of crazy shit. Intravenous drugs, the crack era destroyed it at one point. Chocolate City, like, it has a bad reputation. It does. Like, historically, it does. It's violent. Like, you don't, single mama ass, raised Negroes, ghetto degenerate debauchery. Who the fuck wants to go there as a black man? So I can be a victim of violence by my own people and have this black ass mayor, I get fucking my head blown off, she don't say shit. It just be another fucking day. My blood, all the blood of the children be in the fucking streets. But you want to talk about homelessness. Make it make sense, man. That's all I gotta say as a man. Make it make sense. It's some crazy shit that these motherfuckers will sit here and do and be intellectually dishonest, all for the purpose of making a dollar, all for the purpose of political gain. You gotta see through the bullshit, man. You gotta use that gray matter that's in between that skull and in between them ears, man. You gotta use that for a productive purpose. See, me, I really want to go to law school. That's my end game. I'm 36 right now. I'm definitely gonna get my ass to some law school, man, because I got a greater purpose for this intellectual abilities and this oratorical skills that I have to be able to, elocute and just use this voice that I have. I gotta use it for a positive situation. I can't just sit back like people like her and gain all these BAs and masters and all these degrees to sit up somewhere and sit up in a high ass fucking post somewhere and shut myself off to the world and create this narrative that's not true. It's not intellectually honest at all. You're lying. You know what I'm saying? And cape for homelessness. Like, that's such a big issue in America. It is, but I'm saying that's just a plaguing issue of America. Like, most of the people are mentally ill. Get them, if you really care about homelessness, build shelters. Build a huge building that houses these folks so they're not forced to be in shelters. Like, let's be honest. Like, let's be real. Like, that's not an issue in America. They want to make it one. It's not a push button topic. It's homelessness. That's something that could be fixed like that tomorrow with a strike of a fucking pen. Or she could, like I said, if she's the mayor in DC, she has the power to make something happen if she really cares about homelessness, as opposed to just pointing the finger at Trump. You notice all they want to do: point the finger at Trump, point the finger at Trump, point the finger at Trump. That's what they want to do. It's the liberal Democrat narrative that they perpetuate daily. So you got to see through it, man. See through the bullshit, please. Be intellectually honest. Trust what you see, man.
Montgomery County Executive Mark Elrich says shelters and drop-in centers there are preparing for a potential influx of those needing services. And stay with 7 News for continuing coverage of the federal.
That's what they're there for.
And how it's impacting surrounding counties across.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool beans. Appreciate everybody that liked the content today too, man. It's all love. Appreciate that. Highly appreciate it. Highly appreciate it, man. I know you do not have to come on TNP and show this type of love, so I appreciate it highly, man.
Tour started.
Definitely appreciate the love, man.
JLA.com.
Edward Corstein. Police say he was injured in an assault and treated on scene. The President's Post Tuesday coming moments before DC police launched this kickoff to National Night Out, an annual celebration promoting community building with local law enforcement. President Trump's newly confirmed U.S. Attorney for D.C., former Fox News host.
It's an issue, man. It's an issue going on in these cities, man. I'm telling you.
Crime is going down in D.C. It's going down in D.C. because of you. Because you, who as parents teach your kids respect. Because of law enforcement.
After those remarks, a rep from the office shared a statement with News 4 clarifying her comments, saying, "The two are totally different. Tonight was about celebrating successes when community and law enforcement work together. Crime is not down enough as any crime victim. We need to end crime committed by those who are too young to prosecute." And refer prosecutor hours earlier.
The president is very serious about making sure, as a prosecutor here, that we not only fight crime with a vengeance, but make sure that there are consequences.
DC police say MPD's carjacking task force is investigating. We're told agents with the FBI Washington field office are involved. In the district, Walter Morris, News 4.
Today, the FBI released new data on violent crime across the U.S. Their statistics show that violent crime decreased by 4.5% in the U.S. last year. Murder and non-negligent manslaughter down by nearly 15%. Robbery decreased by 8.9%. Rape.
That's what we said. That's what I said. I literally said crime has dropped across the board, all across America. Statistically, allegedly. But I don't think we just need to have this knee-jerk reaction where there is not an issue with crime, because we know that it's bullshit. We know that's not true. We know it's an issue with crime in America. We know it. You know, we sit here and lie and be intellectually dishonest, but we know it is a huge issue when it comes to criminality in America, man. Especially from certain communities. It is a huge effing problem. So what are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it, man? That's the biggest question. That's the question of the century, man. Are we gonna turn the blind eye to it, as a lot of the politicians will want us to do, or are we gonna actually stand up, stand out, and speak out against this criminal mindset and subclass and subcultures going rampant across America? You know?
Is down just over 5%, and aggravated assault dipped by 3%.
Trump. Really, the biggest thing that went down was murders, too. That's just real.
The fight over the racist gerrymandered maps in Texas continues.
Nobody want to hear that nigga talk.
Somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night. You saw that.
President Trump is threatening to take over Washington, D.C. after a Doge whiz kid was beaten up by carjackers.
The infamous Doge Lieutenant Big Balls was just jumped in D.C.
The 19-year-old former Doge staffer beaten by a violent mob of minors.
Edward Corstein, a.k.a. Big Balls, a name he chose as a joke for his
fucking weird.
His LinkedIn account was left a bloody mess after cops say he fought off a gang of teens attempting to steal his girlfriend's car.
Who's Big Balls?
Corstein was hailed a boy genius when he dropped out of college to join Elon Musk's Doge squad to cut government costs.
One of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste.
And today, his old boss is praising his bravery. A gang of about a dozen young men tried to assault a woman in her car, Musk says on social media. Edward ran to defend her and was severely beaten to the point of concussion, but he saved her. Carjacking is an epidemic in D.C., and 51% of the perpetrators are juveniles. And cops say two 15-year-olds.
What percentage of that are African-American juveniles?
Olds beat up big balls.
A year ago, my niece was shot.
The beating is sparking an outcry over violence in D.C.
This is a serious crime. A mile from the White House. This isn't a joke.
Tamara Jackam's son, Eric, a 21-year-old congressional intern, was caught in the crossfire of a shootout in June and killed. Now the president is warning D.C.'s mayor, Muriel Bowser, to crack down or he will.
Muriel Bowser is full of shit. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even, like I said, it's propaganda. It's really propaganda, and it's really voting gone wrong when a lot of these folks get into it. They use propaganda to act like there's no issue. For one, these politicians, black women politicians, mayors, all the elected officials, they use propaganda to try to hide the real facts and the real goings on and the real day-to-day of these cities. That's what they do. And they want to paint a picture of, like you said, victimhood, white supremacy. Like I said, all these things to try to just cast a net of ignorance and propaganda to, to confuse a lot of the masses. That's what they do. They don't care about the black plight. They could be black as me. They don't. And a lot of these folks, they don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? All they care about is lining their own pockets with money. That's it. They don't care about crime. If they can. Maybe you have somebody that actually speaks out and actually has a heart for the children and the people that's going through this and the people that's actually committing these crimes and is going to be adjudicated and sent up, these juveniles are going to be locked up. Like somebody might actually want to fix and correct and actually influence some of these kids into a better lifestyle, but most people don't. They don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? These people, they would never stay in some of these communities. This lady would never stay in some of these communities ever. She would never stay in some of these crime-riddled, impoverished communities around people that look just like her. She would no. There's no way. Like she'd probably feel like that's being in prison, living around some of you monkeys. You know what I mean? So that's why it's so funny to me where they'll sit here and be intellectually dishonest. They'll circle the wagon on niggatry. They'll say there's no problem. They'll say, well, why is Trump here? Oh, protect the homelessness, protect the, they're gonna over-police the black community. It's gonna be issues toward my citizens when you don't care about the citizens. Let's keep it real. You don't care about the citizens that definitely the ones that look like you. You know what I'm saying? So that's just facts. So, call it what it is, man. But appreciate y'all tuning in to TNP, man. It's been a good one. It's been a good hour. Got it in, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in, man. It's been a great one, dog. Appreciate the love, man. You see my Cash App right there on that in that comment. I want to show some love, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. It's been a good one. TNP, man. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that like button, show some love. Tune in, man.